Welcome to another 5C episode, which stands for Credit Card Consultation by Chris Chong. And this time round, we have Mr. W, who is a software developer under 35 years old. So his credit card collection consists of the following cards, which is UOB Ladies Card, Citi Rewards Card, UOB Visa Signature, UOB Preferred Platinum Visa or PPV. And the main question to answer for Mr. W will be, how can he optimize his credit card spending? Let's take a look at his profile. As a software developer, he is currently living in Johor Bahru, JB, but working in Singapore. So that itself is a huge advantage, right? Earn Singapore dollars but spend in Malaysian ringgit. Wow, just like me, you know. And then he occasionally travels to Singapore for work, so that's a hybrid work arrangement. So I felt that if you are in this kind of privilege or opportunity situation, best to hold on to it because this is the best savings that you can get, better than any cashback or rewards or miles. And then his spending breakdown is mostly 95% in Malaysian ringgit and 5% in Singapore dollars. So how many of you are Malaysians working in Singapore as well? And if you are really unfamiliar with this whole credit card strategy things, then come and join us at over 16,000 members in the Honey Money SG Telegram group to ask your questions there. But let's take a look at Mr. W's credit card usage, right? How does he actually utilize it? Firstly, he has the Citi Rewards plus Amaze card spend strategy, where it is used primarily for groceries and home living items. Monthly spending is around 1,000 Singapore dollars, maximizing the rewards. So yes, a very good Citi Rewards Amaze not only can use locally, but you see, you have 95% in Malaysian ringgit spending. You won't even need to pay additional fees for the Amaze cap, right? The recent regulation, where if you spend above 1,000 Singapore dollars locally, you get 1% fee. So yes, by living in Malaysia and spending in Malaysian ringgit, you already overcome that. Then secondly, he's using UOB Ladies plus Amaze, where it's exclusively for food, with a monthly spending of around 200 Singapore dollars. So quite similar to me, Citi Rewards and UOB Ladies paired with Amaze, good for both local and overseas, and especially dining in Malaysia is much more affordable than restaurants in Singapore. So you really save a lot in the absolute cost already. Don't even need to talk about cashback or miles. Okay, then he also uses UOB Visa Signature, utilized for paying loans and mortgages via Malaysia Card Up, earning 4 miles per dollar. Wow, Malaysia Card Up can earn 4 miles per dollar with UOB VS. This one I really don't know. Monthly spending reaches 1,000 Singapore dollars with an additional 1,000 Singapore dollars available if Citi Rewards exceeds the quota. So for those of you who are not really familiar with UOB Visa Signature, is that you need to hit at least 1,000 Singapore dollars of spend in either foreign currency or contactless spend with petrol. So Mr. W, having consistently hit above 1,000 Singapore dollars per month with UOB VS, can get 4 miles per dollar with Card Up Malaysia. So that is good for him, but may not be applicable to you. Then lastly, he also has the UOB Preferred Platinum Visa that is not yet activated. So why you apply for the credit card but don't activate leh? Just activate lah. So I guess Mr. W, even though his credit card strategy is quite sound, but he does have his concerns and questions, and let's take a look at them. Firstly, let's talk about foreign currency fees. He's aware that he pays a lot in foreign currency fees and might not be worth it. Secondly, if we talk about large purchases, he needs to make a large purchase. Should he just use the UOB Visa Signature or waste the extra quota? And then lastly, he is also considering other credit cards like Maybank Horizon Visa or DBS Women's World Card, but he's really afraid of the 1-year expiry of the points because he may not be able to redeem enough for 10,000 miles and then they become expired. So let's address this question one by one and then give an overall summary, right? Let's take a look at the first question, foreign currency fee. Now the fact is you're already living in Malaysia, so you largely have to spend in foreign currency, and you're already using Citi Rewards plus Amaze, which is the most optimized way of spending foreign currency already. So I would say don't worry so much about foreign currency fee. You're already doing your best, and the fact is you're already spending at a much lower cost level, you know. You are highly optimized already. These are net benefit. Much better than you staying in Singapore but you get the highest cashback. But in absolute terms, you pay more money in Singapore dollars than in Malaysian ringgit. What? Makes sense or not? So always remember the net benefit concept. If you can earn 4 miles per dollar, but if you are paying 3.25% in bank fees for foreign currency, you're still overall in the net gain. What? Better than you using like U-Trip card, Trust card, or the multi-currency cards. So if you are really into miles game, you have to be very sure of this net benefit concept. Secondly, let's talk about large purchases, right? He's really afraid because UOB Visa Signature, you need to hit minimum $1,000 spend. And he's already using on Card Up, which is foreign currency in his case, right? So the other $1,000, he can only use it on contactless. But you know, coming from experience, all these large ticket purchases don't just suddenly appear one, you know. You don't just suddenly walk into Expo and then you say, yes, today I want to buy this furniture. It doesn't work like that. Usually, there needs to be a case to buy one. And it comes in multiple stages. For example, wedding, right? Of course, you must plan for it. If you have a new house, you want to buy electronics, then you also have to plan for it. And the fact is, you're in Malaysia, so things are naturally cheaper. Even if you're talking about buying a new car, you can plan ahead one, right? So you don't really need to worry about that lah. I feel that if you're already in Malaysia, it really beats all form of cashback points or miles already. Don't worry too much about min-maxing everything. Life is about freedom and having options, not about hitting the caps and minimum. So just plan accordingly and play by ear lah. If you can even forecast your purchases, you can spread it out over the calendar months over a few cards, but you really don't need to min-max everything one. If you make yourself miserable, then there's no point. Lastly, let's talk about the fact of you are considering other cards, but you are worried for the 1 year expiry in points, right? Which is a valid concern, especially for people who are into DBS and Maybank, because their points expire in 1 year. But if you really take a look, the minimum redemption is 10,000 miles, and that is for miles redemption. For example, DBS Women's World Cup, 10,000 miles. At 4 miles per dollar, you just need to make a spend of 2,500 Singapore dollars. And we've spread it out over 12 months. It's around $200+ per month. And you see, it's a very good backup if you suddenly want to make large ticket purchases, right? And don't worry if you cannot meet the miles requirement, because you can really redeem for other things. Even if you redeem for vouchers or cash rebate, nobody will really scream at you that you are doing the wrong thing because you're just utilizing the points before they expire. But if you are really a die-hard miles fan, at least you know that you can transfer it to ChrisPay miles via Chris Plus, But I must let you know, when you transfer miles to ChrisPay, although it's instant, it's at a haircut rate. So it will be disadvantage, but at least you don't need to transfer at minimum 10,000 miles. So that's another solution for you. So overall for Mr. W, it seems like he's really focused on miles and he really want to min-max the situation. But if you take a look from the other perspective, have you ever considered cashback because you are living in Malaysia? And there's this very amazing card called Maybank Family and Friends, which is giving you 8% cashback if you hit a minimum spend of $800 a month. And you see, it's like real 8% cashback because it has a cashback cap of $25 per category, and you can choose 5 categories from like grocery, dining, or transportation and others. And personally, I consider 8% cashback to be more versatile than 4 miles per dollar, even if you value the miles at 2 cents per mile. Firstly, Maybank Family and Friends is a Mastercard, which means it can be linked to Instagram Amaze, which can reduce the foreign currency fee, and 8% cashback is a lot there. Not only that, they also have an additional cap for Malaysian ringgit spend, because if you look at the terms and conditions for Maybank Family and Friends, you can earn 8% cashback on all your Malaysian ringgit spend on top of your 5 preferred categories, and is automatically included after reaching the monthly cashback cap. The 8% cashback will apply on further Malaysian ringgit for the selected category spending that month, and all other Malaysian ringgit spend on non-selected categories in the month. So it's really imbalance as a millennials put it. You spend on top of your cap, still can get 8% cashback, but you suffer the foreign currency fee lah. But don't need to min-max everything one. Have more freedom, more options. Which brings me back to this discussion that we should always focus on the forest versus tree concept. Don't give up the forest because of the tree. You see, the forest here is that you are able to earn Singapore dollars and you live in Malaysia, which means most of your daily lifestyle spend are in Malaysian ringgit. That itself is a huge advantage over any kind of miles, points or cashback. Staying in Malaysia is the forest, because if any one of you can do it, work remote in a low cost of living city, really just do it for the cost savings, and then there's a wider perspective about life that makes you appreciate what you have in Singapore as well. And whatever you are earning from credit cards, be it the cashback, points or miles, are just the trees. Don't forsake the forest because of the tree. Focus on winning the big war rather than small battles. The fact that you can spend on Malaysian ringgit means the cost savings is quite significant already. I can assure you, if you spend on Malaysian grocery in Malaysian ringgit, it's much better than you using DBS U-Card 18% on Singapore supermarkets. So good job to Mr. W. I think you're optimizing your credit card strategy to the max already. I think if you want to add one more card, that will be Maybank Family and Friends. Don't have to worry too much one. Life is about freedom and having the options to choose, not about min-maxing every single part of your life. And you are already in an advantageous situation, especially if you're in the IT sector, should be commanding quite a good salary, plus you have low costs living in Malaysia. Very good situation already lah. So folks, what do you think? Mr. W really winning in life in terms of the 5C already. And if you want to get your credit card questions answered as well, you may fill in this form for free at hmsg.link/5C. Don't need to donate anything, don't need to tip anything. But if you really want to support me, just click on the interactive brokers thing where you can get competitive prices to trade in London Stock Exchange for the best Ireland domiciled ETFs, which I am currently using as well. So I must stress again, my YouTube channel is not a credit card channel. It's a finding financial freedom channel, Like you want to have more options. Credit card is just a tool, just like money is a tool. It should not be the focus of your life. It should really go and enjoy life. And what makes you enjoy life maybe is the freedom rather than the mixed cashback or mixed miles that you choose. So be very clear, I'm not a credit card channel, I'm a financial independence / ikigai channel. And if you want to check on the previous 5C episode where I commented on someone who can only credit salary to DBS, then you can check out the questions and answers right here.